Pt.2 Adam, and this is PVTV. Want to welcome you guys back. Today's video, as you see in the title, I want to talk about the cost of living in the Gambia. Now, I made a video about the cost of living in the Gambia maybe about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and things have changed, right? The costs have changed on a lot of things, from basic food items to your utility bills to transportation. So this is just a list of a few things. So we'll be going through 10 food items, 10 appliances, and a couple of your common utility bills that you go through. So I have a list here, and to start off, I want to say, coming back to Africa is a journey, it's an experience. And we want to make sure that we come with the right mindset. We want to make sure that we come with open eyes, right? You don't want to come over here like someone told me when we first came, with rose-colored lenses. You want to be able to see it for what it is. And so we like to make informational videos to where you can see the real price, the real cost before you come. You can make your own budget and things like that. And this really helps you get an idea. So currently the exchange rate floats around 71 Dalasi per dollar. It floats around that, might go down to 69, might go up to 72, but that really is something to consider when you're coming. So getting into the food items, right, we have rice. So 1 kg, they measure in kilograms and things like that. 1 kg of rice, and I would recommend that when they're giving you food items, you use a scale. If they have a scale, you tell them to use the scale, because a lot of them will eyeball it and you might not get as much rice as you're supposed to for the price. So 1 kg of your rice, usually imported, is 50 Dalasi, okay? So that's roughly 80 cents in America, American money. But in America, that price would be about $1.50, $3 for that same amount of rice. Bread, a standard loaf of bread, is from anywhere from 50 to 80 Dalasi. I'm talking about a loaf of bread that they sell, not the tapalapa that they sell, which is the local bread, which is only 10 Dalasi for the tapalapa, or if you're getting a sweet bread, it's 20 Dalasi for the sweet bread. And so that's about 71 cents, if you look at it comparatively to the dollar. Whereas a loaf of bread in America can charge you anywhere from $2.50 to $4.50, and maybe even higher if you're getting some type of kosher bread. So the prices are different. Chicken, 1 kg of chicken. When you look at one kilogram of chicken, so you can go inside of there and say, I want 100 Dalasi of chicken, or I want 150 Dalasi. You can name your price of how much you want, and they weigh it on the scale to tell you exactly how much you're going to get. But imagine if you're going by wings, you'll get for 100 Dalasi, which is, I have it listed here, around $1.30, $1.40, something like that. You'll probably get about 11, 12 chicken wings for that price, for like $1.12. Now you tell me if you can get that at Wingstop. So the prices are really good comparatively. Still, the prices have gone up, but you'll see from my last video, you can compare to this video some of the price differences. Eggs, so a dozen of eggs, right, would be around 120 Dalasi. If you get a full carton, you can get a full carton of eggs, 24 eggs for let's say 200 Dalasi. So if you think about that, that's roughly $2.14, $2.30 that you'll pay for a dozen eggs. I mean, not a dozen, a full carton, so 24 eggs, right? In America, we know eggs are going up and up and up. It's more expensive. I can't even tell you the average price in America right now for eggs, maybe around $4.50 or something or more for a dozen eggs. I mean a carton of eggs, which is 2 dozen. Moving on to onions, right? 1 kg of onions. So that's roughly about 30 Dalasi, 40 Dalasi if you want 1 kg of onions. And so if I would say a number of onions, that would be like 5 or 6 onions, something like that, that you'll be able to get that for. So that's a pretty reasonable price. So that's around A dollar. Let's say you pay about $1 and you'll get a lot of onions for $1 here. And I know prices in America fluctuates for vegetables. Tomatoes, 1 kg of tomatoes, 50 Dalasi. And again, you're getting a good amount of tomatoes. And it depends too on the seller, because here it's not, the price is not like flush all the way across the board. Some people charge differently than others, so that affects the price. Cooking oil. So 1 liter of cooking oil, I actually just bought this yesterday. It's 150 Dalasi, so that's $2, right? And you know, it's not great value cooking oil. This is good cooking oil. This is the stuff that in the stores in America would be like $4, $5 for the oil. Mangoes, super cheap here. You can get 4 mangoes. I've gotten 8 mangoes for 50 Dalasi, which is like 80 cents. And we know fruit in America is pricey. You know, they're charging. Local fish. So fish here is getting more expensive because there's overfishing in the oceans from foreigners, you know, and that's a big problem. But 1 kg of fish, which really isn't like a lot. Usually the average fish is about, you know, the size of from my elbow to my hand, and you know, it's about 400 Dalasi, 500 Dalasi. So that's around $7, $8. That's around $7, $8, something around there. Bongo fish is one of their popular fish. Water, a big water indach is what they call it in Olaf. That's 30 Dalasi. Okay, so a big bottle of water in America is $2, $3, $4. But here, that would be about an American equivalent, maybe 30 cents, 20 to 40 cents, you know, something around there for a bottle of water here. Now going down to appliances. So appliances, right? So we got a basic blender. You'll pay $2,500 to $4,000 for a basic blender here. And that's around roughly $36 to $57. In America, we know blenders go from 40 to 150. Of course, there's a different quality of blenders, but we're just talking about your average standard blender, nothing crazy. Refrigerator, your medium-sized refrigerator, top freezer, bottom refrigerator box. That's 9,000 Dalasi here. You can get ones for 8,000. You can get it for 7,000. You can get it for 10,000, 11,000. But your average price you want to see is around 9,000 Dalasi, and that's $120. In America, your basic refrigerator starting is probably around $400, $400 to $1,200 when you get to the touchscreen, advanced ones. So the prices do vary. You can get an off-market used one, of course, from like a garage sale in America for cheaper. So that is possible too. Chest freezers, same thing, 9,000 Dalasi, around $120. Gas stove, we're talking about 2 burners at least, 7,000 Dalasi. You go up a couple of burners, you get to 9,000 Dalasi around that price. So that's anywhere from $100 to around $150 roughly. And we know gas stoves in America, just starting off, the price is $300, $400, $500, you know, just starting off. Flat screen TVs, these are pretty cheap too, 5,000 to 6,000. You're getting like, you know, 60 inch, 70 inch, 100 inch screen TV, and that's around $85 to $90 American equivalent. And flat screen TVs of that size in America starting at 200, and you're going up. You know, that's just where they're starting. Smartphones, again, you get a mid-range smartphone here, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 Dalasi, like 5,000 to 10,000 Dalasi, right? So that's like $71 to $143. You own the phone. You can buy an iPhone for that much. And we know in America, starting off mid-range phones, 500, 6, 7, 800 is very, very expensive. Washing machine, you can get a good washing machine, and you want to get a decent one that's low power. It doesn't take a lot of power, for like 10,000 Dalasi, and that's really good. That's like $130. And we know mid-range washing machines, super expensive. In America, they don't play about the washing machines, especially if you're getting one that's up to brand. Basic solar panel kit, you can get a basic solar panel kit here for 6,000 Dalasi. You know, you can get one for 8,000, 10,000 if you're trying to up the size. But, and I'm talking about with that, you can have like a few solar panels, your inverter, and basic batteries, and start to have you might not be able to get the MPPT charger, but a little bit more, you'll be able to get that. And roughly 10,000 Dalasi, you can have a small solar setup easy here. Now let's go to the utility bills. So this is the last section. So your basic utility bills, electricity, and this is monthly, right? You'll spend about 1,000 Dalasi per month on electricity. This is what my family spends. It's 4 of us. So we spend about 1,000 to 1,500 in electricity a month. And that's roughly $43, $43, something like that. It's not really a lot. It's comparatively to America, you know, electricity bills are really high. My parents spend over like $200-300 on their electricity bill. Water bill, like, is usually tied to your electricity if you're connected to NAWIC. NAWIC is the electricity and the water company here. So if you have a water bill, it's usually tied to your electricity, so it's the same thing. You don't pay a separate water bill usually. You know, we've never had to pay a separate water bill unless there was some type of setup on the property. Bottled gas, around, for the small tank, 300 Dalasi, larger tank, 600 Dalasi, just to swap it out. You can't refill it, you have to swap out the tank. And so again, that's very reasonable pricing. That's around $3 to $4. Mobile data, so you know, if you want to put data on your phone, you can get different plans, 50 Dalasi plans, 100 Dalasi plans, 2,200, 3,000 is like the largest plans, but that's a Wi-Fi plan that lasts the entire month. So throughout the entire month, you'll have data nonstop. They give you a Wi-Fi hotspot box that you can carry around with you. That's after sale. They have other companies that are cheaper, like Homium, right? That's a company that's a little bit cheaper. And again, 3,000 Dalasi a month, we're talking about like $50, $45, $50, $60. And you have data for the whole month. You can connect, do whatever you need to do for the whole month. So still, guys, in 2025, the prices are very good in the Gambia. The cost of living is very good in the Gambia. And in my honest opinion, the Gambia is a perfect place to relocate. It's the perfect place to bring your family. If you don't come to relocate, at least just come to visit. And we have a lot of great resources for you guys. I'll have the link in the description. We have Vegas.business. That's our website that we help with people trying to repatriate and people trying to build. And even if you just need a consultation, we also have our payhip.kunda page. If you want to visit and you want to learn about the Gambia or have your own custom tours designed, we design custom tours for individuals. And, you know, starting November all through the rest of history here, we'll have tours for you guys. So I want you guys to take these numbers, look at these items, really compare where you stay and where you live, and see how it really will be better for you and your family making that transition, because the West is crazy right now and prices are going up, you know, enforcement is going up. So you just have to make that decision for yourself. What do you want to do and where do you want to be? So thank you.
Nikikucheki na zirani, sio kama nimekunywa pombe, nimeokoka lakini urembo wako mama unanimata.